Philadelphia 76ers. So, Warriors have a chance to break a record Tuesday and could potentially break the all-time best record in NBA history come the end of the season. So, a lot to look forward to with the Lakers. What a great season it's been. I believe it was 8 days ago that Oklahoma City game was absolutely incredible. Steph Curry banging like a 37-foot shot at the buzzer in overtime to win the game. And, Steph Curry is just having such a remarkable season. It's amazing that he won MVP last season, and he's clearly become a better player since that season, just all around. You look at his numbers, he's already broken the all-time record for threes in a season, so his own record. So he's going to smash that by the end of the season. And, his stats are incredible, and he sat out so many fourth quarters just because the Warriors have such an insurmountable lead that, they rest their starters in the fourth quarter. So just a remarkable season. Might as well just give him his second straight MVP right now. Although there are some other good candidates. Kawhi Leonard having a great season for the Spurs. We're only like 3 games behind the Warriors. They're having an absolutely outstanding season as well. Even a guy like Damian Lillard, who would have thought the Portland Trailblazers would be over 500 in the playoffs when they lost 4/5 of their starting lineup? Robin Lopez, Nicholas Batum, Wesley Matthews, and LaMarcus Aldridge, who's now on the Spurs, and, Damian Lillard somehow was not named an All-Star, but, that's neither here nor then. So, a lot of guys having great seasons, but obviously Steph Curry will most likely win back-to-back MVPs. So, we're going to take a short commercial break here from Damage 365, and when I come back, I have another top 10 list, and this one involves baseball.
Just incredible. And you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Now that's not just the coolest, that's not just the best. Damage 365 Radio, now that's just incredible. Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions like UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous Town Flea Market, Green Building, booth number 35 on 90 Wilson Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/Funkenstein Inc. for more information. Join Brandon Lewis and Christopher Syke Bracey every Tuesday night on YouTube.com/2KW at 8:30 p.m. as they bring you the matches and moments that makes... The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order. Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski here, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions like UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous English Town Flea Market, Green Building, booth number 35 on 90 Wilson Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/Funkenstein Inc. for more information. Last ever ECW World Heavyweight Champion, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Keep listening, or you'll get gored in half. WarriorsOfWrestling.com. See roster profiles of past and present Warriors of Wrestling stars. Over 50 highlight videos of Warriors of Wrestling events. Full-length match. Order tickets to future Warriors of Wrestling events. And an extensive DVD collection featuring past events, compilations, documentaries, and much, much more. Only at WarriorsOfWrestling.com.
This is Lanny Poffo, formerly the genius full of glory and renown. You are listening to Damage 365 Radio. The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Welcome back after that short commercial break. As I mentioned, I will get into another top 10 list. This one involves MLB, and basically what it is familiar faces and in new places. These are 10 guys who are on new teams, whether it was via free agency or via a trade. They will be playing for a new team this season, and they're not necessarily the 10 best players that are on new teams, although some of them are clearly some of the better players that were signed to new teams. But, some I'm just really interested in seeing, whether they could bounce back or, things of that nature. But let's get started. And number 10 on my list is new Kansas City Royals starting pitcher Ian Kennedy, who signed a 5-year, $70 million contract to be a starting pitcher for the Royals. Last season was a bit of a struggle for Kennedy with the Padres, where he went 9-15 with a 4.28 ERA. The previous season, he went 13-3 with a 3.63 ERA. He just hasn't quite been able to duplicate the success he had in 2011 when he was a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. That season, he went 21-4 with a 2.88 ERA and finished 4th in National League Cy Young voting. And since that 2011 season, he's had a 44-50 record with a 4.19 ERA. So, just has not been able to match, pretty much the dominance he showed in that 2011 season when he had a remarkable 84% win percentage. He's still striking out a lot of batters. The past 2 seasons, both with the Padres, he struck out 9.3 batters per 9 innings. But, the Royals, yes, they've made the World Series the past 2 years, and yes, they won it last year. But, during that whole time, they've really been without a true ace. Yes, they did trade for Johnny Cueto at the trade deadline last season, but yes, he had a dominant World Series game. But in the regular season, he was far from an ace with the Royals. More on Cueto later, actually. They have Yordano Ventura, Edinson Volquez, both solid pitchers. Ventura, of course, only been in the league 2 years. Kind of regressed from his rookie season. But, if Ian Kennedy maybe not quite reached those 2011 numbers, but, somewhere in between that and, what he's done since then, like a 3.5 ERA, the Royals would definitely take it because just like last season, a lot of the calculations or whatever where they project what the team's records are going to be. A lot of them aren't too high on the Royals, but like I said, a lot of them had the Royals finishing around 500 last season, and in turn they won the World Series. So, shows you how much these computers know. Excuse me. Excuse me. Number 9 on the list is a pitcher who looked very strong from 2010 to 2014. In those 5 seasons, his ERA was anywhere between 2.92 and 3.48. Over that time, he actually went 56 and 40 with a 3.27 ERA. He finished 8th in NL Cy Young voting in 2010 as a member of the San Diego Padres. I want to see if Matt Latos can bounce back as the Chicago White Sox got him at a very discounted price, 1 year for only $3 million. So, if he comes anywhere close to that 5-year span, $3 million is a steal for him. But last season was a major disappointment. Was traded for by the Marlins, started the year with the Marlins, then got traded to the Dodgers, then got released by the Dodgers, then pitched a couple games with the Angels. Overall, with the 3 teams, he went 4-10 with a 4.95 ERA. Just a very disappointing season from someone who had been quite consistent for a long period of time. Gave up more than a hit an inning last season. A lot of people had the Marlins, doing big things last season, but guys like Matt Latos and Mike Morse and Stanton getting hurt, just didn't pan out well for the Marlins. The White Sox do have a strong top 3 in their starting staff, leading off with Chris Sale, then Jose Quintana and Carlos Rodon. So that's a solid 1 through 3. So, if Matt Latos can pitch like those 5 years, they're going to have, probably a top 3 or 4 staff in all of baseball and possibly get into the playoffs after finishing, I believe, a few games under 500 last season. So Matt Latos, number 9, I want to see how he bounces back and if he could be quite the bargain for the White Sox next season. Number 8 on the list, 3-time All-Star, former shortstop, now a second baseman, Starlin Castro, who was traded by the Chicago Cubs to the New York Yankees, where he will man second base and become a double play partner with Didi Gregorius, their current shortstop. Last season wasn't a great one for Castro, the 3-time All-Star, 265, 11 homers, and 23 doubles. Was playing shortstop to start the season, actually was benched for a little bit, then moved to second base in order to allow Addison Russell to play his natural position of shortstop. He made 6 errors in 29 starts at second base. Not terrible. He was a career .284 hitter up until last year, but he really struggled to start the season. Batted .247 before the All-Star game, and that includes .221 in May, .245 in June, and then a .170 average in July, which is about the time he was benched for a little bit. But boy, did he end the season strong. In September and October, the few games in October before the playoffs started, he batted .369 with 5 home runs. So Starlin Castro, who was always seen as like a top prospect before he came into the majors, and started off Very strong. 2011, he led the National League with 207 hits. So, the Yankees are hoping to get a quality second baseman from Starlin Castro, former three-time All-Star. Struggled up until September last year, and I believe 2013 he had a very disappointing